You did everything right. You set those big, ambitious goals for your career, your money, your health. You bought fancy planners, you made to-do lists, and you kicked things off with a massive burst of motivation. But then, a few weeks later, or maybe months, it all just falls apart. You're right back to where you started and feeling like you failed again. You glance over at that business plan collecting dust, or that personal project you were so excited about sitting there half finished, and you feel that familiar sting of disappointment. But what if I told you it's not your fault? And I'm serious. There are invisible forces at play, working behind the scenes to sabotage your best laid plans. In this video, I'm gonna bring those forces into the light and give you one single strategy to finally start conquering your goals, both personal and professional, for good. So if that sounds good to you, give this video a big thumbs up and let's get into it. Success, whether in the home or in the office, is sabotaged by the exact same three invisible forces. If you can understand these forces and counter them with a single unified strategy, you can build momentum in every area of your life. The first and most dangerous of these forces is what I like to call the clarity illusion. This is the trap of thinking your goal is crystal clear when actually it's just a vague, fuzzy wish. We say things like, I want to get in shape. I want to grow my business. I want to become a better leader. These sound like goals, but they're actually illusions. They give your brain no direction and no way of knowing if you're actually moving. In your personal life, getting healthy. What does that mean? Running a marathon? Or maybe just not feeling so tired all the time. Without the specifics, your brain doesn't know what to do. A powerful plan replaces that illusion with a concrete directive. So instead of getting healthy, maybe you say, I will lose 10 pounds by October 1st by walking 30 minutes a day and cutting out sugary drinks. Now that's a plan your brain can get behind. In business, this illusion is even more destructive. A goal to improve sales is a recipe for failure. It's a wish, an illusion. A real, actionable business goal sounds like this. We will increase our lead to customer conversion rate by 15% in Q3 by implementing a new CRM and getting our team 40 hours of training on it. See the difference? Vague goals create confusion, whereas specific, measurable goals create a roadmap. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound to everything from a personal habit to a multi-million-dollar project. So the first thing I want you to do is look at your biggest goal right now. Is it a real specific target or is it a fuzzy illusion? And be brutally honest with yourself. The real problem isn't the goal you didn't hit. It's the blow to your self-belief with every failed attempt. It's the time you wasted, the energy you squandered, and the money you spent starting over and over again. If you're new here, my name's Tanya. I've run 3 marathons, I've built 3 businesses from scratch, and I am no stranger to goal setting. In your professional life, this looks like a project that blows past the deadline, destroys the budget, and leaves your entire team feeling frustrated and defeated. A recent study from the Project Management Institute shows that 12% of projects are considered total failures. But we all know the numbers are much higher, especially when you factor in projects that just quietly fizzle out. It's that awful feeling of being busy all the time, but never actually being productive. Your to-do list is a mile long, but you're just not getting any closer to the life you want to live or the business growth you need. In your personal life, it's that gym membership, the one that feels like more of a donation because you never seem to actually make it there. It's that online course you bought but never finished, or that new skill you promised yourself you'd learn that now just whispers guilt every time you think about it. This cycle is exhausting. It starts to convince you that maybe you're just not the kind of person who can follow through, that some people are just built for achievement and you're just not. But here's the thing. The problem isn't your character or your work ethic, it's your approach. You've been fighting these powerful, invisible forces all along and didn't even know it, but that ends today. The second invisible force is what I like to call the rigidity trap. This is where you create a beautiful, detailed, perfect plan, and then you worship it. You treat the plan like it's reality, but Reality isn't perfect, it's messy, and it doesn't care about your perfect plan. Sticking to a failing plan just because it's the plan is one of the top reasons for failure. Think about a personal goal, like a strict daily writing habit. You plan to write 1 hour every morning. Then one day you oversleep. Your streak is broken, your plan is destroyed. A rigid all or nothing mindset says, well, I've already failed, what's the point, and gives up completely. This is exactly why most New Year's resolutions are dead and buried by February. In business, this trap is called failure to adapt. Markets change, competitors launch something new, and customers want something different. A team that religiously follows its original project plan while ignoring all the new data and feedback is just steering its ship towards an iceberg. They're so focused on the map that they don't see the cliff right in front of them. The strategy here is to build flexibility and review into the very DNA of your plan. The goal itself is sacred, but the plan is not. You have to schedule regular check-ins to make sure your plan is still the very best plan possible to achieve your goal. For personal goals, this could be something as easy as a Sunday check-in. What worked this week? What didn't? And how can I adjust my plan to make sure I achieve my goal? For business plans, this means scheduling regular project meetings designed specifically to review the current plan and make course corrections as needed. When you create space to review and adjust, you transform failure into priceless feedback. And it stops being about avoiding mistakes and instead learning from them faster than anyone else. And finally, the third invisible force is what I like to call the resource mirage. This is the dangerous idea that ambition and willpower are all you need to succeed. We are terrible at estimating the actual resources required to make something happen, myself included. And by resources, I don't just mean money. Resources are your time, your physical and mental energy, your skills, your support system. Think about someone who decides they're gonna renovate their kitchen after watching a few YouTube videos. They've got ambition, but they haven't honestly audited their resources. Do they have the energy to do this after a full week at their day job? Ignoring your own limits is a direct path to burnout and another abandoned project. In the business world, this is a catastrophic and shockingly common mistake. Inadequate resource planning is a top cause of project failure. Think about a company who launches a new, huge initiative without giving it the budget, the people, or the tools that it needs to succeed. This is only going to lead to an overworked team, blown deadlines, and a project that's just a shadow of what it was meant to be. This is also where communication breaks down. Your team isn't aligned and engaged, and you're wasting your most valuable resource: focused collaborative effort. The solution is to conduct a brutally honest resource audit before you commit to any plan. This applies if you're planning to run a marathon or launch a new product. I want you to ask yourself these questions. First of all, do you have the time? How many hours can you realistically devote to this? Block it out in your calendar. If you can't find the time, your goal is just a fantasy. Second, money. What is the actual all-in cost? Now, add 20% to that for all the incidentals that come up. 3, what skills am I missing? And how can I get them? Do I need to buy a course? Do I need to get a mentor? Or do I need to hire someone to do it for me? Then energy. Will I have the physical and mental energy to achieve this goal? And don't save your hardest task for Friday night when you're completely exhausted. And then finally, support. Who do I need in my corner? Do I need an accountability buddy, a supportive partner, an engaged team? What support system am I going to have in place to make sure I achieve my goal? By auditing these resources first, you go from wishful thinking to strategic execution and ground your ambition in reality. So what's the big takeaway here? Well, your plans haven't been failing because you're lazy or incapable. They've been failing because you've been unknowingly fighting these invisible forces. A lack of clarity, being overly rigid, and overestimating your resources. But now you know how to fight back. Set brutally specific, measurable goals. Build in regular reviews to adapt your plan without ditching your goals. And do an honest audit of your time, money, skills, and energy before you even start. Your next great idea, whether it's for your life or your business, deserves more than a burst of temporary motivation. It deserves a real, robust strategy, and now you have one. So go make it happen. But first, I want you to tell me in the comments, what about this video resonated with you? What goals are you trying to achieve? Let's support each other together. And until next time, peace out. Buster, off. Good off. Nope, good boy. Good sneeze. Nope, lie down. Good boy.